Hi. So I've started this new thing, beekeeping. Uh, Exciting stuff, scary stuff, but I figured what would be really good for me is to try and keep a record of this, something I'm always really bad at doing with anything that I start. So I'm going to keep a record of this. And the way I'm going to do that is by filming these little videos. So as a dyslexic person, trying to keep notes on paper, trying to explain what I'm doing to other people through paper, through writing, just never really worked. So I figured for something like beekeeping, I'm looking this way because my hive's just out the window. I'm just looking at the bees. But for something like this, I'm gonna try and film as much as I can, and then if I get any problems, I can upload them and send them off to people and go, "What's going on here? What's the crack?" So that's the plan of this little video. So I started just over a week ago. I bought a nuke, which is a nucleus colony. It's 5 frames of bees, and I've installed it into my hive. Unfortunately, I didn't film that. I was more concerned on just getting them here and getting them in safely. Um, so it's been about a week now, and yeah, I guess I'll show you the video of I'm just going to go through a hive inspection with them, and I want to basically make sure everybody's happy, the queen's laying, that yeah they haven't just left or anything like that. I mean they haven't left. I can see them flying in and out, but just making sure that there's still a full hive, everybody's hatching, there's no diseases or anything like that. And yeah, the big thing that I'm really concerned about is the queen laying. Are they drawing out comb okay? And yeah, like is that all tickety boo? So I'll play the video, like record me going through the hive and everything, and yeah, like that's it really. I'm gonna try and do one every hive inspection I do, so I can see the development from a nuke to a full hive, and then hopefully they'll get over winter okay, and I won't have messed anything too bad up. But obviously, if I do and I upload these videos, I'm going to try and put them on in a public platform so people can look at them and tell me what I'm doing wrong. So if you're watching this and you're an experienced beekeeper and you're going, this guy, what is he doing? Just no. Yeah, let me know what I'm doing wrong. If you're a novice beekeeper and you don't really know what you're doing, ask me. I might not know. Ask other people; they probably are a better person to ask. Um, but for reference, like the things that I'm sort of interested in is where everybody's located, because I'm in Wales. I'm in I'm in the capital of Wales. I'm in Cardiff. I'm in Grangetown, which is Grangetown massive G Unit, big up. So yeah, that's where I am. That's the sort of the plants that they're going to be getting, the season, the weather that I'm going to be experiencing. So whether that's useful to you or not, I don't know. Anyway, roll the film. Okay. Apologies initially for not being able to play the sound that was recorded there and then. As you can see, it's a little bit windy, and as I'm only recording this on my phone, it's just the sound quality wasn't good enough. You couldn't hear what I was saying, and there's loads of traffic in the background. So I'm taking apart the hive now for the inspection. There's the feeder off the top, and then here's a super. So the super I put on 4 days after they moved in. So I got them Friday, and it was so hot on the Saturday and Sunday when I was looking, because it's right on my bedroom window. I was looking at, they were just all on the porch in the middle of the night, or not all of them, but a lot of them. And then I realised I left the bottom board in, and it was so hot. I figured I'd got to take that out, give them some better ventilation. So I figured whilst I'm gowning up and putting on my bee suit, I might as well have a quick check what was going on with them. And I'd fed them 4 litres of water to 4 kilograms of sugar ratio, and they'd taken it all and they'd stored it in the brood nest. So they built loads of comb and stored it all in the brood nest. I was really worried the queen didn't have somewhere to lay. So I figured if I chuck a super on, they can build some comb out there and shift the stores out of the queen's way, so she's got a place to lay some eggs. And as you can see on this, they've built comb up there, and this is quite a heavy frame. It's definitely full of stores. It's got lots and lots of stores on both sides. It's a really heavy frame. And the other thing that I'm doing is when I'm going through this, I've taken two frames out and just laid them on the floor next to me, just so I give myself some room, so I'm not rolling any bees on top of each other when I take frames out. But I'm being quite thorough in inspecting this super. I'm not expecting anything magical to happen, but I didn't put a queen excluder on the bottom. So the reason I didn't do that is because I figured if they did draw comb up in the super, on this frame here, you can't quite see it, but there's a bee with some crazy pollen on it. It's like bright orange, but really flat discs of pollen on its legs. But yeah, I've tried zooming into the image. You couldn't really see it. So maybe next time when I inspect, if I can find another bee, I'll try and bring it closer to the camera. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I didn't put the queen excluder on because I wanted, if they did draw comb up in the super and they didn't shift the stores, that she could come up and lay up at the top. So either way, she'd have somewhere to lay. And that's my main focus at the moment. It's not honey production, it's not anything like that. It's drawing wax and getting the queen to build up the colony so they can get plenty of stores and go in strong into winter. The weather the last couple of years has been a bit insane, and I don't know what we're going to have. I've just remembered to move all the frames at once, and there's less chance to crush the bees. So I'm shifting the frames across, giving them a little smoke. It's just going to calm them down. It makes them think basically that there's a forest fire, I think. So they think, oh, quick, let's eat as much honey as we can before we have to run out of here. So then they're just like, oh, I'm so full, I can't sting anyone. I'm so bloated. I've eaten all the food, which I'm sure we've all felt after an epic Christmas dinner or family meal, or just a cheeky feast. So yeah. Spraying some smoke, smoking some smoke, just having a smell of it myself. Yep, that's smoke. Put that down over there. I'm pretty sure I knock it off in a minute as well. But I'm going to take these frames out just to have a look. So this frame, none drawn comb on it whatsoever. The second frame, I'm just getting my hive tool to they've properlized the frames together. So I'm just separating them out a bit. And a little bit, you can see a tiny bit of drawn comb on the top corner there. And oh yeah, there goes the smoker. Nice, cool. Yeah, better pick that up, Frank, otherwise it's just going to be ashes everywhere. Stone in the top. Boop boop. All good, all good. So on this frame, what we got, this frame is super heavy, and it's the first frame, like it was a fresh frame I put in with just foundation on, and it's full of stores. You can see they've capped off an arch at the top, and it is just absolutely heavy. It's so heavy, it's full. And keep going, bit of a spray, watching some bees. Is it working? Have I broke it? I don't know. Put it down. Next frame. So this is the first frame from the nuke that I bought. You can see they've got tanned edge. These frames are a little bit older. So again, haven't seen the queen yet, and I'm looking for eggs. That's the one thing I'm really, really looking for, is to make sure the queen's laying and that she's fertile. And on this, you can see there's a little bit of capped brood. There's some larva inside, I think, if I remember rightly, and obviously there's stores on the top. I'm trying to, yeah, plenty of capped brood on that side. I don't want to shake the frames about too much, just in case the queen is on there. Like I said, I'm a bit of a novice. I'm not 100% sure on what I'm doing all the time. In fact, this is my first real bee inspection, second bee inspection that I've done with my bees, and I did a couple whilst I was training. I just did a course with Cardiff Vale beekeepers, and they were lovely. They're really good people. If you're looking for a course, it's really cheap. I think it was like £60 for 4 days, and they were really, really good, really good. So plenty of capped brood there. I'm not advertising, like, well, I am advertising, but I'm not being paid to advertise for them, guys, just so you know. Right, this has got, whoa, lots of bees on. Lots of bees and cat brood and stores, trying to find eggs. At this point, it's so hot, I've sweated so much that my glasses are full of sweat and I can't really see what I'm doing. Trying to hold it up into the light, seeing if I can get the sun down the bottom of the comb, then maybe I'll be able to see some eggs, but I can't really do that. I can't see eggs, but I think that's more to do with my sweaty glasses than and my inability to see very well anyway, rather than the bees. So yeah, taking things up into the light. That one I shouldn't have taken straight off. I should have inspected the queen, because obviously if the queen had fallen off there, that's a tip for me in the future. Yeah, have a look. Can you see anything? What can you see? Yeah, trying to get the light into those cells again. Now I'm sure the queen isn't on the frame, and I couldn't see any eggs, and I was getting a little bit worried. Like, the hive's booming, there's plenty of capped brood, so I'm not too stressed out, but I couldn't see any eggs anywhere, and that was like my main thing. And then on this frame, where I've recorded this after filming it, I know what's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure on this frame I found the queen. I'll zoom in now, I think, to try and show you her. I'm not brilliant, and the video quality isn't amazing. This is my first time actually trying to edit a video as well, which is just horrendous. A mate of mine helped me out, and I forgot 90% of what he said just after I walked out the door. So zooming in, I think, is it going to work? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's zooming in, so you can see she's walking vertically down the frame and across to the right hand side of the screen. She's the one with the big wings. I should put a circle or something on her. Next time, when I get a bit more efficient at editing, maybe I'll try and do some cool trickery and see if I can highlight her a bit better. So yeah, just yeah, plenty of stores, and again, couldn't see any eggs, and I didn't want to throw that frame around too much when it had the queen on it. I'll get a bit nervous. I don't want to hurt her. Don't want to hurt any of the bees, but she's a pretty important one as far as it goes. But then this frame came out, and on this side, loads of stores again. And on this side that I'm looking at now, this is a brand new frame into the hive, so this was just foundation. And it's full of larvae. So unless they've taken eggs from previous brood and dragged them across, she's laid in here and fed them, and they're all doing good. Or well, the nurse bees have fed them. I'm just going to show you now. So you can see a bit of capped brood, stores up in the top that's capped up with that beautiful white stuff, and then all these guys, all these little bee babies, all of them just in there chilling out. I can see some of them are slightly darker shade than the other ones. I know when I did the course they said make sure they're pearly white. So comments please below. Is that alright? Does that look like a healthy... That looks beautiful to me, but obviously I don't know what I'm doing. So if there is any issues there, I don't know. Like, obviously I'm just terrified of foul brood and chalk brood and, you know, all the bee paralysis diseases and everything. So I just want to make sure everybody's okay. But yeah, have a look. If you do know anything about those, comment below and just let me know. That would be really, really helpful. And then I checked the last two frames. They're properlised together, so just prying them apart, giving myself room. So this side is just drawn out a little bit. This side has got, I think, plenty of stores on again. Yeah, all the stores. So I think that's just all the sugar syrup that I gave them when I first set them up. And then this one just isn't drawn out at all, this frame. I'll remember that. So you can see the wire foundation in the frame there, actually, where the light's hitting it. That's just to give it a bit of support. So what I'm doing is I'm putting that frame inside of the drawn frame to encourage the bees to draw on it a little bit more. Yeah, that's right. Remember to move them together, Frank. Yeah, doing that. And the two frames that weren't particularly drawn out first, I'm going to chuck them in. Similarly, just a bit closer to the brood nest, encourage them to draw it out, and then give the queen a little bit extra space to lay. And yeah, that's I think that's called checkerboarding. That's what I did. So you put like a drawn frame and an undrawn frame and a drawn frame and an undrawn frame, just to sort of encourage them to draw it out. I think next week when I check the bees, well, I say next week, I think it's Thursday now. I'm going to check them Sunday. I'm just going to have a look and see if they've drawn it out. If they haven't drawn it out, I might give them a little bit more food, a little bit more sugar syrup, just to encourage them to draw it out, and I'll see how much they've done on the super as well. So now, happy with that, super happy. We got brood, seen the queen, haven't seen eggs. That's the one thing I'm missing, but if we've got larvae, then there should be eggs. So I'm just putting the bees to bed now. I guess, yeah, thanks for watching. Like, if there's I don't know, anything you're wondering, ask me in the comments. And also, the queen hasn't got a name yet. She needs a name. Get the bees out of the feeder because they were all stuck in there. So yeah, we need a name for the queen. If you wanna chip in with a name or a name for the hive, I put the plastic cover on, the queen excluder on top just for storage. Roof on top of that. Bish bash bosh. Tie it up, and that's it. You know, it's not rocket science, but it's really fascinating, really interesting, and I'm genuinely loving it. I'm getting really into it. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.